Everyone is blaming the high mortgage rates, and that's why buyers are not pulling the trigger. But what if I told you that is only half of the story? And the real reason in this video might surprise you, so stick to the end of this video because I'm going to expose why some buyers are very hesitant other than the interest rates to pull the trigger. What's going on, guys? My name is Cody, realtor with eXp Realty. I help sellers get the most amount of money and help buyers find the next best deal. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want more valuable content just like this, and be sure to check out all my social medias if you want more valuable inside impactful content. But without further ado, let's expose the truth on why buyers are not really pulling the trigger, or they're so hesitant to pull the trigger in this current market that we're in. Number one, affordability. The interest rates are high. We are in a time where interest rates are slowly coming down, but really what it happens at the end of the day, and I also train agents as well as to handling this objection, is really not only much of the interest rate, is really about what people pay in their monthly mortgage payment, which is resulting into number one, the affordability. Why some home buyers are really holding up because they think they can't afford what's really, at the end of the day, finding the next best deal for the buyer. And the key components into that is because not only the monthly mortgage payment goes into it, you got taxes, you got insurance that goes into the monthly mortgage payment as well. So those are things that take into consideration that some buyers are really holding off to. But here's the downside: insurance rates have been creeping up slowly, especially in certain flood zones or like any other high, natural disaster risk. That was still not compared to option number two, which is another thing that's holding buyers back, which is the fear of overpaying. With a bunch of sellers, especially with my sellers, you want to price to sell whenever you're in a market like this. A bunch of things that, specifically buyers aside, sellers right now, a lot of sellers are really overpricing their home, which is why some sellers are not selling, which is why I always preach and always, whenever I'm giving my sellers advice, always price to sell. But there is those moments where sellers are a bit overpriced and that buyer is actually interested, which is good news for the seller, but for the buyer, just in case if the appraiser comes back and is not appraised for that much and they still want to go with the deal, that's another thing that buyers are really scared to come to the table with. What the number one thing is that a lot of uncertainty is what keeping these buyers are waiting, which is why nobody wants to pay a high monthly mortgage payment, which is why even though these interest rates, like I said, are coming down, that's what's really holding buyers up. But number three will be the most thing that will shock you, and that is lifestyle and job concerns. That is another big play to what's really stopping these buyers from making a considerable move. Aside from the monthly mortgage payment, what is it like about the lifestyle? Like I said, again, I'm in Houston right now with the pro agent office, but ultimately the lifestyle here is way bigger than Little Rock, Arkansas. It's way bigger than my hometown. There's a lot of opportunities here in Houston, Texas, versus going to a small city where there's less competition, there's less job opportunities, there's less demand for that market versus when you come to a big city like this. But really, Little Rock or Arkansas in general is really just a retirement state. So really, a bunch of buyers are, if they are going to retirement, they will look into smaller cities like this, like Little Rock, Bryant, Conway. That's not really all, because this last one is what's really keeping buyers at a standstill, and that's the competition that is in the market. What I mean by competition, I mean by competing with investors and cash buyers. This is what's going back to the point of where a bunch of people really think they're overpaying, which is good news if you put yourself in a bidding war against a couple other buyers if you're a seller, which is also bringing another fear factor, like I said earlier, into somebody overpaying. But what do I mean by this? What do I mean by this is that some buyers are really in the fear of competition because they're competing with cash offers, and whenever you're dealing with cash offers, obviously that's going to be more desirable than most of the time, more likely than a financial loan. But you're also dealing with investors as well. And when you're competing with these people, not only you're dealing with fast closings, you're dealing with really good contingencies that come along with those offers. Overall, what does this mean? What does this mean for buyers in general? It means that don't just focus on rates alone. I know that most of the time, whenever I'm talking to my buyer clients or my buyer prospects, the biggest thing, and I kid you not, is just the monthly mortgage payment. People, they do care about the interest rates. They do care about that, but they really care about what they're paying a month with that. So overall, just to tell you that, focus on smart negotiating. You can still get a great deal in this market, and you can still get the monthly mortgage payment that you are looking for. It's going to take a strong buyer's agent just like myself to go out there, negotiate a strong offer and a strong deal for you to get exactly what monthly mortgage payment you are currently desiring. Now, aside from buyers, what does this mean for sellers? Even though buyers are slowly starting to creep out the woodworks, these interest rates are slowly coming down. This is going back to when I'm talking about cash offers, investors. Now, most of the time, sellers don't want to sell to investors unless it's a investment property. But going back to the number one portion that I always talk about whenever you come to sell your home, you want to price it to sell. You want to put yourself in that position where you get a lot of traction. And what happens when you get a lot of traction? You get a lot more demand. And especially since we're in the fall market, when there's less competition and these interest rates are slowly coming down, there's going to be more demand for your home versus when you're in the springtime. Even though you don't control the rates, you can control the outcome of what you do whenever you're buying or you're selling. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the short video of what buyers are really doing and what's hesitating them to go out there in the market. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want more valuable content just like this. If you need an aggressive buyer's agent to go out there, negotiate every offer for you, get you the monthly mortgage payment that you are looking for, be sure to contact me down in the description below. And if you need an aggressive seller's agent, a list agent to go out there and generate those offers for you, again, be sure to check out me down in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Let's get it.